everyone. Hey, today we are going to cover something that's a little different for me, and it's called a 1031 exchange. And what that is gives you a deferment on your capital gains tax on your investment property pieces that you own in your portfolio. I have actually done this in the past and it's worked out rather well. And I wanted to pass out that knowledge in a little bit of snippets today, and we'll go in deeper in various coming videos so that you've got a little better idea of what's going on. Hey, I'm Lydia Buchanan. I live up here in the mid-north San Diego County area. Cover everything from Escondido all the way down to Coronado, where I also used to live, and from the I-5 to the I-15 corridor area, that giant triangular area. Anyway, there are several advantages to a 1031 exchange. We've got obviously the tax deferment, we've got the wealth building, we've got diversification, and we've got estate planning. So we're going to start off with tax deferment, and that's exactly what it is. You have a piece of property that you have owned as a rental income piece of property, and now you've decided you want to sell it, and you go in and you start doing the math, and you realize that if you do the math and you've talked to your CPA and they go, oh, well, your capital gains is going to be this, but deferred income and deferred this, and you recapture depreciation, blah, blah, blah. And you're going, you must be joking me. They're not. And that's why this 1031 exchange is here. You can take that capital gains tax and defer it onto another piece of property. So unless you need the money, this is a great way to start building your generational wealth. So you've got a piece, you've had it for 5-7 years, it's appreciated, pretty darn good here in Southern California at this particular point in time. And so now what you're going to do is you sell that property, you take all the investment from that and you turn it over and put it into a new piece of property. Now that piece of property could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. There are certain guidelines that we have to follow, which we'll cover in other videos, but it gives you an opportunity to either go to a better neighborhood, buy a better house, kind of buy a bigger boat, or go into a different area completely, or a different venue. Maybe you want to go into buy some apartments or buy a fourplex instead of a single family home. So those are all there for you as part of your wealth accumulation that you can go in then and start expanding what you've got. So say you do this, and then 5 or 7 years down the road, things are starting to look pretty good. You don't have to sell all the new ones. You can just sell one of them. And maybe you've decided, you know what, I'm ready to get into some Airbnb stuff, and you're going to try that. Or, I'm ready to try some commercial, or you've got all 3 of them or 4 of them, however it is. You go, I'm done. I'm going to buy a bigger apartment complex and let someone else take care of it. Or you're totally tired with the tenants and the trash and the taxes and whatever else it's going to take to get it done. And you decide you're going to go into what they call a Delaware Statutory Trust. And that is where you do not have to make any more executive decisions. They do that for you. And you put your investment of income into that, and they in turn send you money. And you can sleep easier at night on some of them. Just depends on what you invest in and what group you get into. So, and the final one is the estate planning, which is so important given that what we have right now is going to currently daylight in 2025 for the inheritance tax rules. So for your estate planning, when you've deferred this and you've had a piece of property now for 20 or 30 years, and you deferred and you've deferred and you've deferred, and then you pass on. And now your heirs get that property or those properties at the new stepped up basis, which means the going rate that house or property would sell for on day of death, which means all that deferred taxes just goes away and they don't have to mess with it. So if you've gone out over the course of time and purchased property in X and property in Y and property for Z for all your kids, and they've each got something that they've kind of picked in an area that they want to be, around close to where they are, then it's theirs. There's no fighting. There's that, no, I gave you more sort of a thing. Hey, if it appreciated in value more than this one over here did, or this one over there, that's not your problem. It happens, It's just like, living in Southern California versus living in Texas or the Midwest. Pick a state, any state. So, in doing that, like I said, they get that at the current value that it's with. The deferred taxes that have been rolled disappear, and they are not subjected to that whatsoever, which is a wonderful opportunity for those kids to start off with something fresh, give them a value that they can make a decision with what they want to do with it then. And so I hope any of this is of any advantage to you whatsoever. I would appreciate you hitting the subscribe button, dinging the bell, or whatever, and hopefully looking forward to my next video. And like I said, this is just a snippet, and I will go into more detail on the coming videos as to how this all works. As always, make sure you talk with your CPA or you talk with your trust attorney before you go off and run barrel head into something without having some advice. All right, thank you much. Bye.